I must admit to be something of a bridal couture addict, even though any wedding I attend is as a guest.
Me too, for the moment.
Well, if you're as adventurous as I think you are, Zach, then I think you should take a close look at Manish Arora's recent bridal collection.
Let's roll.
When Manish Arora decides to give the title Kaleidoscope to a collection, we know what to expect. And then again, perhaps not. This designer exudes energy and makes no compromises for those who want to wear his creations.
I think my inspiration was celebrating life, celebrating happiness, and celebrating women and showing them as powerful women, not a woman who covers her head and goes out in public. If a woman wears my clothes, she has to be confident. My clothes are not for unconfident people, and that's for sure. And when she walks in a crowd, she should be happy to be noticed.
True to its title, the collection displayed the full chromatic spectrum, with the palette seeming to challenge the eye's ability to distinguish hue, tint, shade and tone. Color was not the only visual element, because he also explored the effect of light, including embroidery on a sheer base to create an iridescent effect. In another stylistic story, Manish evoked the glory of the peacock, combining bright kitsch tones with gold rexine embroidery as a tribute to the famous peacock room in a palace in Tuscany. Looking east, the cosmopolitan designer was fascinated by a Japanese technique known as tamari, which has balls wrapped in mesmerizing patterns of colored thread. This time, black, white and gold formed the foundation of the geometric psychedelia.
As a bride, you have to wear what you want. Don't listen to your mother, father, cousin, brother, neighbor. You should wear what you believe in. I think that's the best trend.
Of course, whether or not you'd be recognizable is another question, especially if you went with a full effect with multiple bindi dots, floral headgear, or a futuristic take on tribal regalia. Despite the apparent otherworldliness of the designer's vision, some ensembles were classically elegant, feminine, and eminently wearable.
That is beautiful. It's Indian, but as if India was on another planet. Do you think Manish was chewing on some of Amir Khan's leftover pan?
I don't think Mr. Arora needs any chemical assistance. His imagination would be on schedule 7 if you could get it at a pharmacy.
I'd have 4 weddings and a funeral just so that I could get to wear as many of those outfits as possible. Bet it would blow the budget sky high.
Not necessarily, and our Mela Style panelist is standing by with some creative options to emulate the look. Haroun, Manish Arora has a very eclectic style. Do you relate to that as a designer?
I do. I find his mixtures of colors, textures, I think really inspiring. He's the only designer that can put together like 45 different colors and make it look amazing.
How do you think Manish is able to pull off something like that, using so many colors and so many, textures and patterns?
I think the secret is in the beautiful, intricate prints. If you see the typical Manish Arora designs, his fabrics are beautifully done. Lots of digital printing, lots of embroidery, whimsical yet very chic. If you look at the colors that Manish Arora has used, he's used lots of the greens, there's a bit of golds, there's a bit of the corals, and I love the way this fabric catches all those colors. Slight shimmer, the fabric is silk satin and it drapes beautifully.
How do you wear a mosaic print?
Well, it's all about the boldness. If you look at Manish's stuff, you could actually use this as a dress. I love the way this drapes. Look how beautifully that falls.
Haroun, patterns are quite a touchy subject. How do you know what kind of pattern to wear?
I think you've got to look at your body type. If a woman is on the fuller figure, avoid big prints, avoid big floral designs. Go for something a little more daintier. Go for darker colors. Go for colors that cut you down by size.
So does he ever mix patterns?
Yes, that's the secret. He uses amazing patterns, he uses amazing designs. It's slightly techno, and I think he does a lot of research into his collections. This fabric, I thought, also had the essence of a Manish Arora design. And I love the way it has a bit of the geometrics.
The print looks very much like the Kaleidoscope.
Yes, it is, but the beauty about this fabric is that you could break it up with any of the accent colors. You have the greens, you have the mustard, which is very big in for the season. You have the reds, you have blacks, you have whites, depending on your skin tone.
Now, Haroun, tell me more about the do's and don'ts of mixing your prints.
I think stick to size of the prints that's going to suit your body, but everything is about mixing prints. Be adventurous, play around, be creative, mix colors, mix textures, mix prints. They work beautifully. Break them up with a beautiful belt or a bag. For example, if you look at this and you thought this was really hectic, but imagine using this, bringing in an accent color and toning that down, and then adding something a bit more interesting on the top.
Now this looks really beautiful. I mean, where would you use something like this?
I love this piece, and I think it could be used beautifully on a sleeve. Can you imagine a very busy skirt, a plain bodice, and having these pieces placed on a sleeve? Just applique, giving it a bit of a sheer look. It has that Manish Arora sort of feel.
Definitely,
modern,
it screams Manish
trendy,
Arora.
and so different. Try to be a little different. Don't always have the bling in the front, because sometimes a woman needs to show off a beautiful makeup, fine features, and if you had to try and place this at the back of a garment, it could make a beautiful statement.
I like that idea, actually. Haroun, I'm very inspired by all these prints and beautiful patterns. I wonder what I would look like in it.
Well, let's experiment. Let's play wardrobe.
I like that. Let's play wardrobe. So, Mr. Style Guru, how do I look?
Absolutely ravishing.
Ta-da!
Well, I knew you were going to carry off these prints so beautifully, especially this beautiful skirt that captures all the colors and essence of Manish Arora and found in Durban. And the jewelry by designer Yuvathi Shah just finishes it.
I adore this cuff. I mean, cuffs are so in and the detail is exquisite.
Well, Kajal, since you're rocking these prints, I have another surprise for you. I have found this beautiful fabric. It's my favorite, and it's my take on Manish Arora. And the colors, the textures, the vibrancy, the print, you're gonna rock it, girl. You wanted to know how we do eclectic? Well, voila.
I absolutely love it. The colors simply pop and it's so African. Well, I think this is certainly our South African version of Manish Arora.